Namaskar and welcome to all of you to this webinar, which is as part of reviving the networks that AIWC has with different international agencies. The first one we had was about consultative status with UN ECOSOC. And after that, now we are hosting this webinar to learn more about Solar Cookers International, which we were one of the founder members, Mrs. Lalita Balakrishnan, was very closely associated with Solar Cookers International. But later somehow we have not been in touch so much. Now we want to revive that network. That is why we are having this webinar today. And we are very fortunate to have two excellent resource persons recommended by Solar Cookers International. Dr. Janak, Palta, McGilligan, and I'm very proud to say that she is a member of our indoor branch, and she has worked closely with AIWC for decades, I would say. So,
life member
of indoor branch. So, thank you for joining. And Ms.Sara Rosen, she has joined us from Denmark. She's a program and officer with Solar Cookers International. She will tell us about SCI and about the work they do. And then later, Janak ji will tell us about the work that she has been doing, the excellent work that she has been doing. I will introduce them in more detail just before they start their presentation. Now I invite Mrs. Kalyani Raj, President of AIWC, to make her presidential remarks, after which we'll go on to the presentations. Kalyani, please, you can start. Has she lost connectivity? I think she has, she said something about her laptop having problems. So then what I'll do is I'll go on with the introduction. I'll first introduce Dr.
Come back, Usha. Excuse me. I see her name there. She's come back.
She's there now. But
Kalyani? No, but her audio and video both are disconnected. I can only see her name.
The blue thing is there, no?
Yeah, only the name is there, but audio and video are not there.
Kalyani, again, she's asking.
So admitted.
Yeah, admitted her. Yeah, she's re-entering. Maybe on that. Yeah. She is connecting.
Video has connected, audio has not connected.
Connecting.
Yeah. So then in the meantime, I'll go on with my introductions. Dr. Janak Palta McGilligan, she is a global advisor with Solar Cookers International. She has her doctorate and she is also a Sangeet Visharad, and she is the founder of Barley Development Institute for Rural Women, which she founded in 1985. And she is also the founder director of Jimmy McGilligan Institute for Rural Women. She has been working with rural women for many, many decades, and she has been taking part in UN events. And she very recently, she was a part of the high-level planning event of UN for Sustainable Development Goals. And she has been, her services have been recognized many times over. She was awarded the Padma Shri in 2015. And she has been awarded the Rajmata Vijayaraj Sindhya Social Service Manav Seva Award, Sadbhavna Saman, Paryavaran Mitra Puraskar, and many, many more. So we are really honored to have you with us, madam. And we are waiting to listen to you about your wide experience in this field. And Sara, as I told you, she's Program and Operations Manager with Solar Cookers International. And Before I start introducing her, I'll just read out something that she has said about solar cookers, which I found very interesting. I quote, "I am fascinated by the impact simple tools have on humanity's quest for social justice and empowerment. The printing press brought education to the masses. Bicycles expanded job opportunities for workers, and even the humble washing machine helped move women from the home to the workforce. Solar cookers are similarly elegant in their ability to elicit remarkable environmental and humanitarian results through accessible technology." And this actually gives us a new perspective about solar cookers. It is not just about cooking, but there are many more other aspects. And like the simple tools that she had mentioned before, it has really revolutionized the lives of women all over the world. She has been with Solar Cookers International for a short time. Before that, she has worked with different NGOs on conflict-affected communities, then international advocacy for various causes. And now she is passionate about working for the Solar Cookers International as an ambassador and an advocate for spreading more awareness about solar cooking. So now I think can I request Kalyani, can you say a few words now? Hello, Kalyani? Yes, yes.
Yeah, Usha, sorry, there is a lot of internet issue. I don't know in my room. So now I'm sitting in front of Lily and taking this call. I don't know. There's a lot of internet issue. Yeah.
Oh, you please go start your presidential remarks.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon and namaskar. Thank you, Usha, for arranging this webinar on a topic which is very, very pertinent. And there's an area where you see, especially as Janak ji also said, our stalwarts like Lalita ji has done so much of work, immense work. And more importantly, this is a field where AIWC also has received number of recognition nationally as well as internationally. So it's a very important topic. And thank you, Janak ji and Ms.Sara, for joining us and sparing your valuable time. I think there are other members also from Solar Alliance, I think, who have joined and all. So just for the information, of course, Janak ji knows about AIWC quite a lot, but still just for the information of Ms.Sara and other friends who have joined from Solar Alliance, I just wanted to mention that AIWC has been working on popularizing use of solar energy, I think since 3 decades, before even probably it was popular as a very effective climate change mitigation initiative. We started, I think, with solar lanterns in 1980s when India had number of urban and rural areas where access to electricity was very restricted. And a number of AIWC branches undertook this program, popularizing the use of solar lanterns. And later on at stage 2, we even repaired. We did even the training on solar lantern repairs. Actually, in one of the colonies in Delhi, we had set up, Lalita ji actually had done this. She had set up a charging station on the terrace of one of the community women. And the solar lanterns were given to the cart sellers and who used to pay a very nominal rent to the lady and charge their lanterns in her house during the daytime and use it in the evening for, roaming around selling their stuff in the cart. So these were the initiatives AIWC had taken for solar lanterns. And also, I think we, at the same time, later on, we also did some training on mobile charger, solar mobile charger repairs and popularization. And of course, apart from this, under that ADB program, I think 4 of our AIWC branches, if I'm not wrong, 4 branches were provided with solar cooker, and they were trained in drying of drying of seasonal fruits and vegetables, and pack it very hygienically and sell it. And it's still going on. I know very well in Delhi it's going on, in Kerala it's still going on, and even in Andhra. So the branches are still continuing that. And as I already mentioned at the beginning, that AIWC was very well recognized on their work in solar propagation. And one of our projects, it was given, I think, award from REN earlier. And one of our project was given the Best Practices Award in Rio in Brazil 2012, when we trained the jail inmates, women from prisoners in Dasna jail, in repair of solar equipments. And I was fortunate enough to go and collect it on behalf of AIWC. I was privileged. But yes, there's always scope for more, and precisely for that reason, we are having this webinar today. And I'm sure we will have a lot of takeaways once we hear Dr. Palta and Sara, and we'll be very happy to explore any synergies together in future. So with that, I'll just stop here, and over to you, Usha, and thank you once again, all of you.
Thank you, Kalyani. Now, can I request Sara to make your presentation, please? And since I introduced you very briefly, maybe you can just say a little more about yourself so that we know your background a little better.
Sure. Thank you so much, Usha. I just want to say thank you to the All India Women's Conference, and Usha, to you for putting this together. It's so special. I know SCI is really excited to get that relationship going again, and to participate in events like this. And we think there's a lot of potential there. So we're super excited about that. Yes, I am the Program and Operations Manager for SCI. I haven't been there that long, but I was very motivated by the mission because it touches on so many important aspects of life. It's a little bit of climate, it's a little bit of women's empowerment. So it's to me, it was a very inspiring mission, which is why I was excited to join. Before joining SCI, I was working with displaced persons, mostly in Southeast Asia, and then advocacy work in Washington, D.C. for people that were caught in conflict areas. And if you are in the humanitarian space these days, it's becoming more and more intersectional. You can't talk about humanitarian causes without also talking about environmental causes. So everything is becoming quite integrated these days, which makes for an interesting transition. So with that, I will just quickly share my screen here so we can get started talking about solar cooking. Can you all see my presentation here?
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay, I will just put it on presentation mode. All right. Okay, so so I understand that we have here today some very experienced solar cooks, but that we might also have some people who are learning about solar cooking for the first time or who are new to it. So what I'd like to do is start with a brief overview of what solar cooking is, and then get into the work of SCI. So the first question, of course, is what is a solar cooker? And a solar cooker is an appliance that collects and absorbs direct sunlight. It retains heat to cook food or pasteurize water. And more specifically, this process is called solar thermal cooking. So a solar cooker needs an outdoor spot where it is sunny for several hours at a time. We usually start with a container that has a greenhouse enclosure, maybe a piece of clear glass or plastic, and the sunlight passes easily through that glass and it's trapped there like a greenhouse that gets very warm, where it's absorbed by a dark cooking vessel. Many solar cookers have additional shiny surfaces to help capture more sunlight, thus producing more energy. There are hundreds of variations of cookers that suit a variety of different cooking styles, different environments, different group sizes, all sorts of needs. And here we see some of the more common types of cookers. This is just a small sample here, but it's some of the more common ones. And on the left, we have a reflective panel cooker, which is typically the simplest and most portable. In the middle, we have an example of a box oven, which is a little sturdier. And this one in particular uses mirrors to redirect the sunlight. And on the right, we have a parabolic cooker, which can reach quite high temperatures and concentrates the sunlight on a central point. Solar cookers are often used with important complementary technologies, such as retained heat baskets, and which you can put your food in after you've cooked it. It's going to keep it warm after the sun goes down or while you're busy doing other things. They're also used with water pasteurization indicators, or WAPIs for short, because solar cookers can be used to heat water, making it safe to drink. We also see larger institutional solar cookers being used in restaurants, schools, community spaces, and production facilities. And India is really one of the leaders in institutional solar cooking and has pioneered some really innovative and effective projects. The images we see here depict an institutional rooftop system at the Shirdi Sai Baba temple. The project was implemented by Gadia Solar Energy Systems, and it uses sunlight to generate steam, and it is capable of cooking up to 40 to 50,000 meals a day. So it can really feed a lot of people. So we've seen some cool designs and we've seen some different applications, but the real question is, why is solar cooking important? We have now learned that there can be significant negative health impacts associated with inhaling smoke from fires used to cook food. Additionally, burning wood or other solid fuels leads to air pollution and contributes to climate change. Not to mention the fact that women are disproportionately affected because quite often the majority of cooking responsibilities falls to women. Not just the cooking, but also the gathering of firewood, which can sometimes be time-consuming and dangerous. Solar thermal cooking is a really great solution because if you have sunlight, you can cook food with zero air pollution, zero greenhouse gas emissions, zero inhalation of smoke, and the fuel costs nothing. Less need for firewood reduces deforestation and protects biodiversity. It also reduces the time and potential danger of collecting wood or other biomass fuels. And when we talk about the why, I just want to mention how many people are affected, because 2.3 billion people, that's almost a third of the world's population, still depend primarily on polluting fuels for cooking. They're risking their health and environment when they don't need to, and they're spending money that they don't need to. And that's where SCI comes in. So who is Solar Cookers International, or SCI for short, and what role do we play? We are a nonprofit organization working to improve human health, economic well-being, women's empowerment, and the environment by promoting climate-friendly solar cooking solutions for vulnerable populations around the world. We've been leading and convening the solar cooking sector since 1987, and we are so fortunate to have hundreds of collaborators in over 135 countries. So how do we work towards our mission? How do we reach those 2.3 billion people? Essentially, we have three main mechanisms which underpin and imbue each other, and these are advocacy, research, and capacity building. Our current focus is really to use these three mechanisms not only to support the existing solar cooking community, but also to create environments conducive to scaling up projects and significantly expanding our reach. So we'll start with research. SCI absolutely believes that evidence-based approaches are crucial to expanding the global solar cooking community. Now, solar cookers, they each have their own advantages and disadvantages, but we really needed an objective way to measure and compare different appliances. So with this in mind, SCI developed the Performance Evaluation Process, or PEP testing, which has become an internationally recognized metric which measures standard cooking power in watts. And this unbiased and scientific approach helps users and project designers make informed decisions and helps bring credibility to the solar cooking sector. SCI also gathers information about the number of solar cookers out there in the world. We maintain a map, which you can see at the bottom there, depicting the distribution of solar cookers around the world. We have so far identified over 4 million cookers across the globe. So much of this data comes from information that you share. So my plea to you, one of several pleas to you today, is that if you are currently working with a project that builds or distributes cookers, we strongly encourage you to add your information to this map. You can find it by going to our website and navigating to the map of solar cookers. And there's no project too small. Finally, SCI promotes best practices in project implementation and has developed tools such as needs assessments and adoption and impact surveys to ensure that resources are being used efficiently and to ensure that we are constantly evaluating and learning from projects. Next, I'll touch on advocacy. So one of our main goals is to encourage governments and civil societies to include solar cooking in their policies and work, and to invest resources in clean cooking initiatives. SCI has special consultative status with the UN since 1996, which allows us to advocate for solar cooking solutions at large events like last year's United Nations Climate Conference, or COP, in Egypt, where SCI advocated on behalf of the solar cooking sector. We also conduct desk reviews of country policies, focusing in particular on nationally determined contributions, or NDCs, which are country-specific plans to address climate change, and they're discussed at COP each year. We also review voluntary national reviews, or VNRs, which are country-specific progress reports relating to the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And they're presented at the UN High-Level Political Forum, or HLPF, each year. More and more countries are recognizing and including language around the importance of clean cooking solutions in their policies, and this is definitely a trend that we want to encourage. To zoom in a little bit closer, India's most recent VNR serves as a pretty good example. It was presented in 2020, and it mentions clean cooking in several places. It mentions it not only in terms of clean energy solutions, but also in terms of health and women's empowerment. The VNR also connects a lack of access to clean cooking to poverty, which is a very important distinction to make. Finally, I'll touch on building capacity. So SCI projects involve collaborating with local partners and providing consultancy services and guidance around project implementation. We're currently involved in a project that helps bring solar cooking to families in Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya. and helps empower the women that live there. I really love this slide because it kind of shows a timeline here, not exactly, but sort of. And on the far left, we see the original cooking setup, where people are burning coal and other wood and other biomass fuels. And then the next photo, we see a woman receiving her brand new solar cooker. We see a stew that she's made. And then on the far right, we see a good example of some of the women who were participants become trainers in the next round of programming, which is definitely a model that we're proud of. Of course, SCI does not work alone, and we cannot be involved in every solar cooking project. So we really focus on maximizing our reach by building capacity throughout the sector. We achieve this by providing access to helpful resources and opportunities for people, leaders, makers, and advocates to connect. So I'd like to just quickly mention a few of the resources that we provide. SCI hosts a solar cooking wiki, which is the world's largest online platform for solar cooking resources. The wiki is hosted by SCI, but it really depends on people from around the world sharing their expertise and experience. I mean, it is truly a treasure trove of information with over 1,700 pages and translations in 35 languages. You can find a great variety of information, including news, events, learning materials, manufacturers, vendors, and very importantly, you can find open source designs for making a cooker yourself. And these designs pair well with a variety of budgets, needs, environments. It's a great place to look for information. And the knowledge sharing that takes place on the wiki, it really helps make solar cooking accessible and also serves as a virtual community and networking mechanism. If you have a solar cooking project that is not on the wiki, I would strongly encourage you to add an article to the site. You can do it yourself by visiting the site or get in touch with me or someone at SCI and we'll help you get it up there. We also have a number of guides, which are organized into more structured modules, including, for example, here we have the John Collentine Solar Cooking Toolkit, which is a great place for new cooks, makers, advocates, and project leaders to get started. I just want to make a note here that we're actually looking at two different websites. So the wiki is solarcooking.org, and that's a collective site. And the toolkit is solarcookers.org, which is the SCI website. And we are not alone in providing resources like this. My colleague sent me these photos, which I love because it shows how long the All India Women's Conference has been supporting and encouraging solar cookers. I think, and you can correct me if I'm getting the dates mixed up, but I think that the AIWC published this in the early 2000s. It's a manual about solar cooking, and it is incredibly well done because it really seems to focus on the end user and the information that is most helpful for them. My favorite part is that it includes some recipes, which is a great way to set people up for early success. Finally, it's important to mention that the sector's capacity is not only strengthened through resources, but also through relationships. And one example of when SCI could help facilitate relationship building is the 2017 Solar Cookers International World Conference held at the Muni Seva Ashram in Gujarat. This event brought together experts from NGOs, businesses, and universities, and was an extremely successful example of information sharing and relationship building. People shared their experiences, talked about challenges they faced, and met others who had complementary skills. events like the World Conference are only made possible because of the connections we make and nurture with organizations like the All India Women's Conference and with individuals like Janak, Palta, McGilligan. So thank you so much for being here today, for taking the time to listen and learn a little bit about the work that SCI does. I have some resources here available if you are interested in learning more. Please don't hesitate to email me. You can get in touch at info@solarcookers.org if you want to connect a little bit more. Okay, and with that, I'll stop sharing and hand it back to you, Usha. Thank you.
Thank you, Sara. That was very informative, and we are actually delighted to see that AIWC's work has also been highlighted in your presentation. And as you say, I think this booklet was brought out sometime in the early 2000s, just after the third International Conference of Solar Cookers International in Coimbatore in India. And immediately after that, and Mrs. Lalita Balakrishnan was heading the Department of Rural Energy, and she was actually the powerhouse behind publication of this booklet. We are very happy that you chose to highlight it in your presentation. Thank you, Sara. Now, Janakji, can I request you to start your presentation? You can put it in slideshow mode, then we can see the whole screen. Slideshow. Janakji, please unmute yourself. Yes, yes.
Can I see it also? Namaste. I am very honored to be here today with all of you in a AIWC SCI webinar organized by All India Women Conference and Solar Cookers International. And it's very heartening for me, especially to be part of both the organizations, and I'm in Central India. As you know, my name now is Janak Palta McGilligan. So I'm going to talk about solar thermal cookers for sustainable socio-economic development of people and planet. This is based on my learning at Burli Development Institute for Rural Women as a Baha'i pioneer from Chandigarh. I came to serve the cause of socio-economic development for tribal women. And you can see these two pictures. 1985, when this place did not have even a wall, and the second picture when we took retirement in 2011 after completing 26 years of service there. And this is an institute where the objective was to empower the rural and tribal girls, young women who had never gone to school and very socio-economically deprived. And during 26 years, we trained them from 500 villages. 6,000 girls went back to their communities as sustainable development ambassadors. So this slideshow is going to share the perspective was inspired by Baha'i faith. I know All India Women Conference had a long connection with Baha'i Office of Advancement in Delhi at national level. And that I also went many times and shared this. So today I'm sharing this picture with the name of the institute is Burli. Burli is the central pillar of a tribal home. So it was the name I gave, thinking woman is the central pillar of the family, of the world. And it's based on the Baha'i concept of equality. Humanity is a bird with two wings, and both should fly together with mutual strength. So women were empowered with gender equality, for economy, for health, for education. It was a holistic program which included, I think first 7-8 years, we started working with the solar cookers. And at the moment, you will see in the coming slides, they have witnessed significant positive changes in their knowledge, attitude, practices, and use and promotion of solar cookers in their area. And you will see what kind of impact they had on their own life. Actually, I returned from Earth Summit after taking an award for Global 500 Roll of Honor for my institute, because I served as a volunteer in 302 villages for elimination of guinea worms. So started with community contact, and when I was staying there in 302 villages, we saw the status of women cooking in smoky kitchens. And you can see the dark evenings, and you can see this lantern, which was kerosene lantern. So there was no other source of energy in those days. And my husband and I decided, this was the Global 500 of Roll of Honor again. I remember Shobna Ranareji and I were together at Earth Summit, and we became very close. And all this work that I'm going to talk today about solar cooking systems and sustainability is equal participation of man and woman, a couple. My husband, Northern Irish, actually it's he who made connection of Margaret Cousin with All India Women Conference. He was a British citizen, also a Baha'i pioneer in India. He was not trained as a engineer, or he didn't have any degree, but he was very committed to bring changes in the communities, especially for social cause and alternative sources of energy. Mainly, our focus was on thermal solar cooking system. I must like to distinguish here between when we talk about solar energy, and I distinguish it with solar cooking systems is solar thermal energy is directly cooking with the sun. Like solar photovoltaic is panels are made of silicon, and silicon has a limited life of 25 years maximum, and it needs sometimes battery and inverters. So that's not really sustainable. But for power, it's good to have a balance between photovoltaic, but we focused on solar cooking systems, and Queen Elizabeth rewarded my husband, honored him with Order of British Empire for his services in India. And our marriage was dedicated to these girls. And this is one of the graduation ceremony of the girls who had never gone to school. And they are now, you will see in coming slides, this is a solar dish, first solar dish made at the Burley Institute by my husband. And you can see their involvement, that they're going to install it on the first floor. And we had no first floor at that time. We had a temporary kitchen. And we also had it's the first largest community solar kitchen of Central India, built, designed, and managed by my husband, Jimmy McGilligan, and all the girls who were trained there at the institute. You can see the chapatis being made and food for 100 girls for 6 months. And you can see the carbon emissions were reduced by 1.8 tons per year, saving 1 ton of wood. So these are direct solar dishes. And we also started training the tribal women to become mechanics, engineers, and install in their villages. So we were doing this, and the tribal schools from the neighboring areas came to us. They wanted help in making solar kitchens for them. So that was Jimmy McGilligan, the manager of the institute, who built these solar kitchens without taking any money. So it was a huge revolutionary step at that time. Started in 98, and it spread in the neighboring villages. And I think I would like to highlight the part of learning by me when it was about, I think, 93 or 4, Government of India started giving box cookers on subsidy. People could buy a box cooker of 200 rupees, but they were not trained how to use it, and people did not know how to use it. I remember there was a manual made by AIWC, but it was not in their language, it was not in Hindi, and there was no training. So we learned that we have to train the users for the successful use of solar cookers, and how to use it, how to make income out of it, and how to sustain their own life. And you will see, this is practically unbelievable for people to see a chapati on a full-blown chapati on a solar cooker. And when we became more, the girls were, when they were eating food solar cooked at the institute, then they got interested in taking solar cookers to their villages. And we got to represent a nodal agency, Rashtriya Mahila Kosh of Government of India. They started sending women groups for training. And you can see they're learning deep frying. This was like unknown. And then on the kits, they're taking home, because women were trained how to reassemble the do-it-yourself kit of SK14 cookers. And you can also see a shop run by women on the products made by them. And there's a solar tea stall in a village run by a woman with her husband. So you can see a huge yard of 18 solar cookers in a tribal village working together. And you can see solar cookers in isolated homes in tribal areas which had no source of other energy other than cooking in smoke. And when I saw in 302 villages, I slept in their homes, and I decided my life, I I will continue to work on no more cooking in smoky kitchens because it's a violence against women. And when these women got solar cookers, the men also started getting interested in helping. And this is the application of solar cooker, because they were learning tailoring and dressmaking. So there was no electricity in the villages. So one of our trainer, tribal girl, became trainer. She is applied her mind to use this charcoal iron for ironing the clothes. And this is the first big solar food processing conference we hosted at the institute. And during 2010, my husband and I decided as manager and director to retire, and we bought a piece of land in a village, half an acre, and to move out in 2011. And the first thing needed in that community was there was no light at all. So he built a solar and wind power 2 kilowatt power hybrid power station, and this is the house he was building. And even today, I am providing street lights to 19 street lights to 50 tribal families. Even now, they don't have uninterrupted supply of solar. But the house where it's built, it is an eco-friendly house. It was designed to be no use of solar energy, no use of any energy in the daytime. So unfortunately, just during that period before we had to move in, we had a car accident and I lost Jimmy and I was left alone. And one of my students came with me and moved there. And you can see, this is the picture of that place now, 2023. And this is how we developed it after he died. This is one of the trainee at the Burley Institute, 98 batch, and she's the trainer, and her son is now a mechanical engineer, and we have a solar kitchen, and we are giving free of cost training since 2011 in my house. And Jimmy McGilligan Center is totally without taking any funding or any financial support from anybody, and I don't charge anything. We had trained 170,000 people who have seen, who have become aware, and who are exposed and understood the purpose of solar cooking and solar energy. And these are all the cookers given to me at different conferences in the world, especially after I was associated with Solar Cooker International, and they invited me in various conferences. And all these cookers are a part of honor of my becoming a global advisor to Solar Cookers International, but I promote all these cookers. This is all the time going on programs, and this is the Nanda trainee turned trainer and the best solar chef in India. And people started giving me gifts like a solar cooker, and this is the lady who's been the speaker of Lok Sabha, Mrs. Sumitra Mahajan, 8 times member parliament, coming and launching this cooker for people. So cookers have been, this is my solar kitchen, and people keep coming and watching with the direct sun. You can see the fire just in 1 second. There's a paper in front of the secondary reflector. As Sara has already told, it retains energy and you cook. But the specialty of this solar kitchen is dishes, Scheffler dish. It cooks inside, and it is largest. You have seen the Shirdi, huge thing. And now every year, in the memory of my husband, we start 1 week program on solar cooking and training people. This is the vice chancellor of Indore University, as a chief guest, lighting the lamp with solar cooker, just a newspaper. And she has decided that she will start a course in Indore University. And these are all the solar cookers at my place. They are demonstrated to the people, and many people are now buying these cookers. This is all kind of cookers, people coming from all countries and learn. And I encourage people, sustainable development, to learn how to make colors, natural colors for Holi, and how to bake. This is all done on solar cookers. And you will see, this is all homegrown. My sustainability is homegrown food and home cooked. And my 300 days I cook on solar, and we have a briquetting system and a heat retaining basket also. So my gas cylinder is changed after minimum 2 years and 5 months. And all these products are from my own garden and solar dried. And the Women Day in my place is celebrated by men who have been trained by me in solar cooking, and they invite men and their families. So men cook, solar cook, and they feast, honor the feast for women. So this is a very exciting day for us. And this is a solar tea shop. This is another supplementary work done by my intern. This was the first solar dryer made by Jimmy, my husband. And now people from different countries are coming to see it. And you will see this is one of my intern, mechanical engineer. He is able to support 35,000 farmers just with the small solar dryer. And Jimmy made this solar dryer when the farmers committed suicide because he could not sell his tomatoes and they could not sell their bananas and chikus, the perishable goods, so increase the shelf life. Varun Raheja is doing a remarkable work. These are Ashoka fellows from all over the world, from Asia. So they are coming to see, and this is the Deepak Gadia and the International Director General of Solar Alliance. So they are seeing all these, and these are the students who have done internship with me, also designing new kind of cookers, solar cookers for new needs. And this is at California Solar Cooker International's food festival in 2014, and I am one of the solar chefs and have great memories. And this is advocacy at HLPF, High Level Political Forum at United Nations, when we did the presentation, and I'm still part of it, and I'm still continuously working. And the government of India invited us in 2018 to demonstrate this solar cooker when India hosted the World Environment Day. And I was also honored by the Power Minister. This is the current Power Minister of Government of India. And we also experiment, and this is also a huge source of making Ayurvedic medicines, Ayurvedic and organic farming insecticides, replace insecticides with natural treatments for organic farming. So this took 5 hours, rather it used to take 5 days and 5 quintals of wood. So solar cookers, women, I would like to say socio-economic is the microcredit groups, women making their livelihood. And social, first thing the women told in 2010, when the study was done by a Gujarati Science College students, went to 500 villages and brought the data. The women, the first thing they said, it is smart, it is saving time, it's saving money, it's energy, but it's also protects their dignity, because they were subject to rape and subject to sexual abuse, and they had miscarriages when they had to carry heavy load. But when they started using solar cookers, they started cooking for their animals, drinking water, boiling water, ironing, using in textile. So this is amazing, and I'm sharing these links for all of you. These are the people who have done internship with me, and these are the startups. You can see this boy who is doing microcredit. Raghav Devsale is also doing solar cooking and solar drying, and a big Deval Verma made the solar cooker, and Aprajita also used the solar cookers, and Surekha Sunabne is a lady who is doing, her photo is not in this, so she is doing ready to eat food, and this is the biggest, first ever, largest pilgrimage of 400,000 people served sustainable free food during almost 1.5 months, who were pilgrimage at Shri Amarnath Ji Yatra at Baltal. And this is the recent photo I took myself. So you can look at these links, and this is my address, and you can contact me by email. And thank you so much for having me and listening to me. So I open for question now.
Thank you, Janakji. And it was amazing to go through your journey in this field, in solar energy, solar cooking, and both the institutes. You have been doing very remarkable work, and you deserve every reward that you have, that has come your way, including the Padma Shri and all other. We are also proud that you are part of AIWC, and AIWC has associated with you, and you have been working with our leaders, pioneers in solar work. As our President Kalyani ji mentioned, All India Women's Conference has been propagating alternate energy way back in 1980s or even 1970s. We started much before the world started talking about alternate energy and solar energy. So we are proud of that also. And this renewal of this association with solar cookers is with the intention that with your rich experience and the rich resources that are at your disposal, all the toolkits and trainings and all other things, AIWC will be able to benefit. We will take from your expertise, and we'll definitely want to take our work forward in this area. So now we can have some interaction. So first I would like to invite Mr. Suresh from Chennai. He is very much involved in solar work, and in fact he is known as Solar Suresh. So Mr. Suresh, can you say a few words? He has been helping our branch in Chennai, the Women's International WIA, in installing their solar projects in their hostels and other places. Mr. Suresh, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, please. Thank you for joining, and we would love to hear about your experience.
Yeah, thank you. One of the rare places among all the ladies, there is one lady I am. Thanks to Padma Pangatraman, I have done lots of work in rooftop solar plants. I'm not talking about megawatt scale. This is all kilowatt scale. One can do it. I'm propagating this idea. I'm not in the business commercially, but I'm propagating this concept of lots of green initiatives. I have a very unique house with rooftop solar, rainwater harvesting, biogas, terrace kitchen garden, hydroponics, air to water machine. I'm very proud to say there's no house like this in India. Over 25,000 people have visited me. I take even 200, 300 people simultaneously, schools, colleges, factory workers, Rotary Club. I'm demonstrating that whatever I've done can be done by anyone, by any common man can do it. It's very simple, extremely simple to do it. I've taken all my ideas from the villages. No innovation, nothing original. As Madam Kalyani mentioned, it's been going on for the last 40, 50 years. Now only it is coming to the forefront. Even now, the potential is huge to reach people thanks to institutions like AIWC. They are trying to propagate this concept. I've installed a rooftop solar in the Chennai campus 3-4 years ago. They're highly benefited. There are many benefits of solar. One, doesn't produce any pollution. No, it's sustainable. Sustainable for me is avoiding using up natural resources. By using solar, I'm not using thermal coal, I'm not using fossil fuels. Biggest benefit for the society. And it's extremely simple to do it, not at all costly, anybody can adopt it. I have installed rooftop solar plants in auto rickshaw drivers' houses, 0.5 kilowatt, 1 kilowatt. They're all reaping the benefit. I'll be willing to propagate this concept through AIWC anytime, anywhere. Solar cooker is one of the key items missing. Lots of talks are happening, but still it's not so workable. Indian Oil have developed a solar cooker, but they're only producing brochures. They're not supplying solar cooker. I opted for one. I even wrote to the chairman and managing director of Indian Oil. He only talked to me what no action has taken place. Solar SCA is doing definitely a pioneering job. If they can only accelerate it, demonstrate. Actually, you should now arrange for demonstrations instead of only these webinars. If you can do these demonstrations and propagate this idea of people adopting it, then it will be very, very, very useful. I can definitely play a role in doing this. Anyway, thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity to share my experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh. And it is interesting to know about your house. And so you are actually really promoting sustainable living at every level. Thank you for your words. Now we can proceed with the actions. Madam, would you like to
Should
say?
I respond? Usha, can I respond to Suresh?
Yes, please.
I want to share that it has been the technology that we have worked for all these years is proven, and it is getting advanced and advanced, but it is the vested interest of the government to only tie up with petroleum companies and the industries who want to promote photovoltaic. The extreme use of photovoltaic with a panel which has a 25 years of life, and it needs inverters, it needs batteries, and at the end, where are we going to dump those gigabytes and megabytes? If we don't use, this is very simple technology, and it is proven. You go to, there is everything, Ministry of Non-Renewable Energy, MNRE, has deleted from its system. The solar thermal has been deleted, and Government of India had decided not to do anything on solar thermal because it is the vested interest, but it is not. Solar photovoltaic is not sustainable. Short term, it looks like green. These rickshaws, these buses, is ultimately, it's going to explode. It's carbon. So we should not be standing and saying that now the solar cooker of petroleum company will be sold when there are already proven models, successful models, affordable rates. Poor women are using it. And there are private people, private companies. Solar cooker is promoting, many donors are promoting, many individuals are gifting. But I think it is a vested interest of the people who don't want solar thermal. There is a bias, there is a systematic vested interest against solar thermal and only for photovoltaic.
Madam, I will not totally agree. I am in the field of solar for the last 15-20 years. I have not seen a single SCA installation in Chennai, in and around Chennai. Definitely, we have a role to. I'm not trying to say I'm extremely happy We have to propagate. We can't depend on government. In all my presentations, I talk about it. Do not expect the government to find the solutions. Find your own solutions. John F. Kennedy, American president, made a famous statement 60 years ago. Ask not what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. You have an excellent product. You have an excellent technology. Now you have to propagate it. Then the success lies only in propagating and execution of the project. We have not seen a single installation in the last 15, 20 years.
Excuse me, if you have not seen it, there is a YouTube, there is a website, there is online, there is Google. If you have not seen it,
Yes.
it means you can close your eyes or turn your back. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist in Chennai.
No,
It has
madam.
to come and be visible.
No, sorry.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that.
No, I'm also sorry. I
Yeah.
cannot accept.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have access to Google website and things like that. People want to use it. They don't know Google. They cannot use it. So it is our duty to propagate it. We will do it. Let us do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Completely. How many people?
I hope you start promoting it now, sir. Today you know it.
Yes, we'll start doing it.
I would like you to become our partner of Solar Cooker International.
I'll be extremely happy to. I'm volunteering my services. In fact, all my presentations I'm going to talk. I'm going to add one more slide about solar cooker, SCI. I'm going to propagate it. Over 25,000 people have visited me. I've given 700, 800 talks all over the world. Completely. So I'm going to include this. I'm going to definitely play a role.
Yes, thank you, sir. The AIWC
Usha, can I speak?
Demonstrations of solar cooking and solar cookers, but somehow over the past few years, it has not been happening that much. But with our association with SCI being renewed, we'll definitely do more work on it. We'll organize more demonstrations. We'll organize more trainings. But at that point also, our biggest hurdle was the supply of solar cookers. The supply was very, very limited. So when people got trained and they were asking for solar cookers, we could not help them to get the solar cookers. That now we'll see how we can get over that hurdle with help from SCI. Farida ji, please go on.
Yeah, I am Farida Hussain from Hyderabad, AIWC president of the branch. I have been into this for at least 25 years. And we have been propagating the solar cookers, solar dryers, and solar lamps. So what I find is previously, as Janak ji has told, solar cookers were available with the government from the NetCap and other places for about 500 rupees to 700 rupees big cookers. I have with me many cookers, and I have done demonstrations in colleges and schools to thousands and thousands of students. I have created awareness about this thing. But solar dryers are in great demand, and we can do so many things with solar dryers, and we are doing it. And like pastas and cakes and all baking things and all. But solar cookers are taking a longer time to cook because we have to turn it towards the sun. And a prototype of box cooker, especially box cooker, it has not changed much. It's there since 95. Same cooker, same type. There is no research going on. There is not much of government, as Janak ji said, government has washed its hand off these cookers and dryers. They are only into photovoltaic and other things. So I want AIWC branches also to take this up and on a larger scale, because but the thing is, we are not, these cookers and dryers are not available in the market so easily as the lamps or even fans, and even, of course, water heaters and all are there. But cookers as such are not so very popular, or they are not able to rope in the women of urban, semi-urban areas. So this is, I'd like your organization, Janak ji, to see if we can do something at the district levels and other things. That's the.
So I want to respond to it, Usha ji, that that is the one of the biggest lesson I learned from box cooker program of government. People were not trained and they did not use it, and they said it takes whole day. We have to turn it around. The problem is, unless we learn how to use it and we train people how to use it, nothing, even the phone, the smartphone, people like me have learned from children how to use it. So unless we learn and we take training, no technology can be successful. It is not open in the market because government has decided not to let it come into the market. People are doing at their personal level. It is a very commitment issue.
Yes,
I am not selling, I am not buying anything. I am only promoting, I am training people free of cost, and I am going everywhere to talk why we should have solar cooker. And Sara has already explained why solar cooker.
Solar dryers also. Solar dryers are very
also,
useful.
but maybe you are thinking of some other dryers. So this dryer,
box dryers,
is entirely new. No, there are no box dryers. There are dryers which you can see. We can talk later on. You can send me an email, or you can go to Google. Solar Cooker International has all the designs of everything there. You can see that, and even contact me. Even my name, you Google, and you will get me to share with you. And it's possible. Look at the Amarnath Yatra made sustainable langar. Imagine.
Even in Hyderabad, and in Tirupati and other places, the solar cookers are being used to provide huge amount of food.
Yes, Deepak Gadia made a whole huge.
But I want a smaller variety which can be used in individual houses and which is really useful, because people are fed up with these gas prices going up, cylinder prices going up, and not very affordable. So
I am there. I am there to support you for information.
Thank you very much.
Janak ji, may I ask you one thing? What do you suggest to meet this unavailability of cookers? Because I said many times we are training.
Cookers are available. Cookers are available. There are manufacturers. You need to go to the people. Don't expect people will come to you. It is not a thing that you can buy in a mall or a super bazaar. It is a thing.
Come actually. It should come into the super bazaars also.
Yes, come, but
it can if the government decides.
How we have to, as AIWC is it has a consultative status. They can take it up at the headquarters and do something.
They can collaborate with Solar Cooker International.
Yes.
They can start this movement. In India, rural areas, there is no other option.
Correct.
And wood is finished. Forests are finished. We are talking about climate crisis.
Even in districts also.
Yeah.
There are so many power cuts, so many hurdles for this.
Where can we get a list of manufacturers, Janak ji?
You write to me an email, I will send you.
Thank you, because that is much needed. Just giving it is not enough. You have to also help them to get the cookers. So I will thank you, definitely.
Just email janakjimmy@gmail.com.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to say something or ask any question? Shanti?
Shanti Socrates from Chennai. Ma'am, I have heard that solar cookers are more beneficial in community cooking than domestic cooking. Is it true?
It's both. It's both useful.
It's both.
Solar cooker is. I have shown all the practical working of at domestic level, at home level, at institution level, at solar kitchen for a community, and solar kitchen for Amarnath Yatra. What more you can imagine in your life? Shirdi
Yes.
temple, Mount Abu temple.
Solar
But I-
cooker, we can cook for daily use rice, dal, and eggs
No,
and all
no.
very easily in the solar cooker. Four
Madam,
things
I
at
have
a time.
shown you solar deep frying. I have
Yeah.
shown you baking, deep frying, making chapatis,
Yes.
everything.
Even street vendors can have solar this thing for tea. We have encouraged that to make tea and sell
Yes.
these street vendors on the highways. and
Maybe we can
everywhere.
have a consultative meeting some other time because we can't sort it out here today in this program.
Thank you. Thank you.
When
Padma,
you are serious, when All India Women Conference want to do it, let me know. We will sit together and consult, and that will be a consultation, or have me in Delhi sometime, or you come to Indore to my place. So
Yeah.
let us make a resolution that we have to do it. This is
I
not
think
a choice, but
Usha
it's
can
sustainable.
organize one meeting of.
thanks. Thank you. Padmaji, would you like to say something?
Thank you very much, Usha ji. This is a very useful webinar. Actually, Janak ji, we AIWC, all the branches, we are willing to do the awareness program, take it to all the remote areas. With your help, probably we will know where to buy it and how to get it and all that. Together, definitely, and Sola Suresh is with us. And in Tamil Nadu, the whole of Tamil Nadu, we will take it up. And like this, likewise, AIWC will take it up in every state.
Yeah.
Let's make it, the beginning of this webinar. And we will continue. We will not stop here. Now we have got a lot of information. And we are all willing to do the awareness program. So we will do it together. Thank you.
I am with you, Padmaji, I am with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else now? We have many branches who have solar dryers, because AIWC has a project whereby they take one dryer on as grant, and the other for the other dryer they are given a socio-economic loan, and with 2 dryers they are able to sustain it very well.
Actually, Hyderabad was the city where we trained people on how to do drying and all that. It started in Hyderabad only.
Yes.
And we also in WIA, we have a dryer. It was given by Lalita ji when she gave a dryer to different branches. And we have been using it.
I know.
Till very recently, we have been using it. Yeah.
Lalita was passionate. Lalita was passionate.
Yes. Yes. And we used to dry herbal powder. We used to make herbal powder, mango bar and all that.
Yes,
Now
yes.
it needs some renovation, repair and all that. So we will continue to do that.
I will come to Tamil Nadu. You tell me when you want to do something.
Yes, please. Please do come.
You come to Hyderabad also.
Yes.
Can I ask Fahim? He wants to ask something. He's from the organization Tunnel, who are also working on sustainable agriculture. Fahim, would you like to?
Yes. Hi all. It's great to hear from Janak ji, and it's really a very sustainable mode of cooking, and also we as an organization, Tunnel is also very much involved in sustainable climate change solutions and sustainable economy based things. So we are basically working mainly from Wayanad district. So I think this kind of cooking technology you are looking for, we are already having plans of solar chulas and all, sustainable ones. So this kind of solar cookers is also really what we are promising in the future. So as ma'am definitely mentioned about comparing this both thermal solar and this photovoltaic based. So I think that's also a great valid point as far as sustainability is concerned. So I'll definitely mail ma'am regarding as Usha ji mentioned regarding the supply chain issues. So getting these things done, and also our project Carbon Neutral Wayanad mainly, and also we have successfully implemented Carbon Neutral Meenangadi, and we are having follow-up works throughout the panchayat. So we would be glad to incorporate the solar cookers in our future sustainable projects as the next step. So this kinds of manufacturer details and also the training, as you have said, whatever tools we get, it's the correct instructions that make it best out of it. So I think that would be also very much useful. So I would definitely mail, and I think Solar International can help Tunnel as an organization in the future endeavors of creating more and more sustainable solutions and make the environment more resilient towards this kinds of climatic shocks that we will be having in the future. Thank you.
Definitely, Fahim. You can be in touch with me. I'll give you the contact details of Janak ji and her organization. And I'm sure you can make use of their trainings and her valuable advice in implementing it in the different villages in Wayanad where you are doing excellent work. Thank you, Fahim, for joining this webinar.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ushaji, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it was really great, very good learning experience, what SCI is all about. And Dr. Janak Palta, the amount of work you have done along with your husband, both of you having the same interest, that is really helpful, you know, and the whole life you have dedicated for this. It is quite amazing, the work. And we have seen or known about solar dryers and, you know, solar lights and all that. This is not all that, you know, among the general public, this is solar cookers or not. I hope that it will come up very soon and we all will be able to, you know, use them. We have so much of sunshine. Most of the majority of our year, we are having sunshine. So we should be able to utilize that. And that will also help in the climate change, green evolution. You know, we should have a green initiative like this. So that's really good, nice. And we'll see how we can propagate that through our branches. And it's very interesting. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shri. Now, Sarlaji, would you like to say something?
Yes, I'd like to say
One of
something.
the recipients of
I am the third person, Farida, Padma Venkaraman, and the third person is me. When the Lelda election supplied the solar dryers, and we have another daughter also like that, and we are doing work with those two solar dryers. And coming to the cookers, the presentation of Dr. Janak Panda was so wonderful. I learned so many things from that. But in Kerala, you know, we were doing so much work in the 1990s about solar cookers. And that was mainly on the box solar cookers. And but what Janak was showing was mostly parabolic reflector. And we have done so many demonstrations with the help of NR in our rural areas about this parabolic reflector type cookers, but that was not so popular in Kerala. But Kerala, we have box ovens. That's the first, as Farida told, you have to turn it plus sun. That's the only problem with that. But very good for cooking and frying. And all the, you have 4 boxes in that black steel boxes, and you can cook in that. They make buy some we make and everything. You can put your dal, everything in that. And that was so popular in Kerala in 1990s. I don't know how it's going on. I had some pictures also. I am sorry I could not show you now. And it was very interesting and a wonderful talk by the two persons we had today. And let us hope in more in future also. Thank you.
Thank you, Salajiji. Bhanumati, would you like to
Yeah.
say something? Yeah, please.
Yes, madam. Thank you so much. I am waiting for the chance. No, here, this is our area is full of, fishermen community. Is the solar dryer useful for drying the fish? Because they dry it on the floor but direct to the sun. That sun reflects that to fish, that mobs will reflect their eyes and their eyes are damaging. The women eyes are. There is a report from the ophthalmologist. So just if it is useful for the, for the women to dry in the solar dryer, just I want to ask the Janak madam, is it useful for drying fish also? Solar dryers.
Madam, I am not sure you are talking about the dryers I'm talking. I
Yeah,
have
dryer,
shown you,
solar dryer.
Yeah, but this is a very simple tunnel dryer. And this, you just look at Google name Varun Raheja. V-A-R-U-N, Varun, R-A-H-E-J-A, Raheja. I have written on my list links also. You look at it, Google his name and see what you want to see. And you what dryer you are talking is a very old story. These are very simple, these are very, but I want you to all know, most of you are women, and unless we train people, unless we learn ourselves how to train, we need to be trained how to train people, how to accept it, and then how to use it, how to follow it, how to, as Sara has showed, need assessment, then they do project assessment, and then they do the evaluation, they do the monitoring. So I have been doing it all my life, and I am doing my work with
Yes,
no funding, and I don't buy anything and I don't sell anything. I just share my knowledge, experience, and
Not buying, selling. Just if it is useful, we want to go for it. That's what I am asking.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. Thank you, madam.
Sure. We done, Usha?
Any more questions? If there are no more questions, we can go to the next item on the agenda. Janakji, you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to thank everybody for questions and answers, and I hope.
No,
I had a lot of hope, lot of energy was in this session.
Yes. And I think you were the source of energy for all of us. We request Shanti Socrates to just do a summing up and give the vote of thanks. She is member in charge of alternate energy in AIWC. She is from Chennai. Yeah. Shanti, please.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor for me to have this wonderful opportunity to express my appreciation to all the dignitaries present here. First of all, I would like to thank Mrs. Usha Nair, member in charge for liaison with international agencies, for her crisp introduction and warm welcome. Thank you, Usha ji, for the productive meeting hosted by you today. Next, I would like to thank our President, Mrs. Kalyani Raj, for her excellent presidential address and her valuable insight into today's webinar. At this point of view, as MIC for Solar and Renewable Energy, I remember arranging a webinar during the COVID period in the month of September 2020. Mr. Ajit Bahadur, Director of Solar is My Passion, gave a demo and lecture about the different types of solar cookers which can be used at home level and also community level. He made the webinar interesting by cooking veg and non-veg recipes. And we all know that solar cooker is a type of solar thermal collector which traps the sun's energy, and this directly heats and cooks food materials. This webinar with the SCA has been an eye-opener, and we have come to know that solar cooking improves the quality of life and paves way for us to get adapted to the fast-changing world. The pollution and fuel-free solar cooking has been introduced to us in an elaborate manner by Ms.Sara Rosen, Program and Operations Manager, SCI, and I extend my hearty vote of thanks to her. The excellent presentation on solar cooking by Dr. Mrs. Janak, Palta, McGilligan, Global Advisor to SCI. This will surely be going to encourage us in our future solar cooking. We appreciate the interesting information you have shared with us. Thank you, ma'am. And friends, thank you all for your enthusiastic participation. And thank all the SEMs, MICs, patrons who have spared the valuable time to be with us. Once again, I thank each and everyone who has made this webinar a grand success by your gracious presence.
Thank you.
Like to just read out a few comments in the chat box. One is from Hemlata Mysore. Very excellent program for us. We have to start this with your guidance in future generations, taking aid by the government. And then the next one is Sara has put the link to the open source instructions. You can see it in the chat box. I have also copied it. If you want that, you can contact me. Amreshwari Morla says it is very interesting and refreshing our memories. Only thing we should decide to start using it. Guneshwari Ravindran says excellent presentations, good learning experience. Really surprised to note that this work has been going on for such a long time. Proud that AIWC has also been active in this area. Hope the solar cookers will catch up and we'll be able to take advantage of the free sunshine we get. And Shailaja is asking a question, madam. Can you respond to that? She is asking if solar geysers are available.
Oh, yes. Oh, everywhere, solar water heaters. And subsidized also.
I think again, if you Google, you will get the names of manufacturers, I think.
Many.
Yes. Shailaja, that is the answer to you.
I will.
Yes. So
I'm
yeah.
using it.
And
I'm
my-
using a solar water geyser.
Even I am having it. Yeah, most of the houses have it now.
So thank you. I thank all of you for attending this webinar, which has been very informative and very, very motivating. And in AIWC, I think we need to bring back that enthusiasm for working solar energy and other alternate energy. We were doing such a huge volume of work. Farida ji knows, under Lilita Balakrishnan and other stalwarts, we were
Yes,
doing
I've
a
done.
lot of work. But somehow we, along with the government, when the government stopped promoting solar cookers and such simple devices, I think we also sort of dropped it, which was very unfortunate. I think we'll take it up again and we'll definitely take it forward. Janakji, we'll forward your association. And Sara, thank you so much for joining from such a long way off. I hope it is not a very odd time for you. Thank you. We hope to be in touch with you also, and Solar Cookers International. We'll take this association forward. We are very happy to revive this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.